have finally seen the achievements and the top achievers and the range. How do you feel about what you've seen so far?
Firstly, I do want to say, we are extremely proud of these top achievers. A couple of things I think that make me proud. One is the fact that these are learners from across the country. And that says to me that more and more quintiles 1 to 3 schools, so schools that are in poor areas, are starting to produce quality passes, and that we're starting to see some of these learners as top achievers. This is not just but one sort of demographic that is here. These are learners with special learning needs, learners with disabilities, learners from rural areas, from townships, and that really warms my heart, because what it says is that our education system is producing quality across the length and breadth. But also, one of the things that I think what we need to also be mindful of is that, this is the cream of the crop. These are the top achievers of the country, and it was really good to celebrate with them this morning. We will obviously be awarding them a little bit later on at the awards, at the announcement ceremony, but obviously this is something that we do annually to celebrate their achievements, and these are really, like as I said, high achievers that are doing really, really well.
Minister, your department is responsible for the future of South Africa and potentially even the economy of South Africa. This is where we actually cultivate skills development and cultivate future entrepreneurs, inventors, you name it. You know all of them, right? And do you perhaps feel that the kind of results that we're seeing are an indication of the fact that the future could potentially look bright, and that we're going to have people who are skilled, and we're going to produce people who are skilled for the market, as opposed to having a problem with people who have certain skills that the market does not really need?
Look, that is going to be incumbent on us, because these learners have done their part. We said to them, go study hard, revise, write your exams, do so with integrity, and they've done that. And so now it becomes incumbent on us as policymakers, as lawmakers, that we must make sure that the world of work is ready for these learners. Well, that's why the collaboration between the Department of Basic Education and Higher Education becomes important, because we are creating a pipeline, almost a conveyor belt of people who are going to institutions of higher learning. And so it becomes quite important that institutions of higher learning are able to receive the volume that we are producing, and that if we are not, we are able to divert learners in alternative streams, for instance, TVET colleges, but that are of quality. Places that we make TVET colleges places that people want to go and acquire skills. The reality of the matter is that we produce over 900,000 matriculants every year. Institutions of higher learning have about a capacity of about 200,000 a year. So that means then there's now pressure at a higher education point of view and the education system as a whole to make sure that we are creating diverse opportunities for these learners to not just finish matric on a high note, but to be able to have a place to go, either a world of work or to go and acquire skills. So the point I'm making is that they've done their bit. Now it's about time that we as government make sure that that work is not wasted just here.
Now, with regards to institutions of higher learning and the issue of capacity, because many years ago, we've seen stampedes with people trying to enter into universities and so on, but we still don't have enough institutions of higher learning, be it TVET colleges, you name them. Are you going to be able to lobby your fellow colleagues to at least increase the capacity of institutions of higher learning, new universities everywhere?
Look, luckily I don't have to do that much lobbying. Minister Manamela and I are both in agreement that, number one, we've got to make sure that the current universities or the current institutions of higher learning have the capacity, but we also have to incentivize young people to go to places where they can learn skills that the economy needs. So we also have to make places like community colleges and TVET colleges places that are attractive, because at the moment people don't want to go to a community college because it is less attractive than necessarily going to a university. We are not going to be able to create capacity in the immediate term for everybody in universities, but what we can do is invest heavily in skills production at a place where places like technical and vocational training. Luckily, I don't have to lobby him much. Him and I are very much on the same page that these learners who produce good marks need to go to institutions of higher learning.
But don't you perhaps think that if there's a demand for universities, then the government should be trying to meet that demand?
Look, absolutely. I mean, you look at certain countries, other countries are having things like about 200 universities, and I think the last I checked, we have got about 26 universities in the country. So there obviously is a demand, and there is a capacity issue which we must address. But I'm talking about now the here and now, because what we don't want is young people that are not in training and not in employment. And so that for me becomes my immediate worry. I look at these young people and I think about to myself that not all of them may necessarily make it into university. So what then happens? Are we able to create spaces for them to go and acquire skills so that they can get into a world of work? A lot of these people, come from poor families, and we need to make sure that they become productive citizens of the economy.
Thank you. There you have it. That is the Minister of Basic Education speaking to us following that ceremony.